Ladies and gentlemen, isn't it poetic, the games they once played on others, the little tricks, the lies they told to keep their own fragile egos intact? They're all starting to turn on them. Every manipulation, every carefully placed piece on their little chessboard is coming back to haunt them, one by one. They thought they were so clever, so cunning, playing with people's emotions like pieces in their game. But now they are realizing that every move has consequences, and those consequences have a way of catching up with you, no matter how much you try to hide behind your walls of arrogance and deceit. They built their empire on the backs of others, stepping on anyone who got in their way, dismissing those they thought weak, believing that they would never have to face the music. But here I stand, and this is my time to show them who I am. I stand before you today, not just to speak, but to declare something far more profound, something personal and transformative. This is not a speech about anger or revenge. No, it is about reclaiming my power, my worth, and my right to be seen and heard. It's about taking back what is mine, about finally silencing the voices that have tried to keep me down, about standing tall in the face of those who believed they could write my story for me. I am here to remind them and the world that I am not someone to be underestimated. This is my time, and I will no longer allow anyone to define me but myself. For years, I have been overlooked, dismissed, and at times, pushed into the shadows. The world can be a cruel place, especially when you are at the mercy of others who hold the power. You know what I'm talking about. The ones who sit at the top, believing they control everything, from your opportunities to your destiny. They tell you what you can and cannot do, what you're capable of and what you are not. They keep you in your place, and they make sure you stay there. They see you as a threat when you try to rise, when you try to take the steps necessary to better yourself. They say, "No, not you. You're not ready. You're not worthy." And for a long time I believed them. I accepted their version of who I was, internalizing their criticisms, their doubts, and their narrow-minded expectations. I let their small-mindedness become my prison. But I'm here today to tell you, I am free. It's taken time to get here, and it's taken struggle. It's taken facing fears and confronting the lies that were fed to me over and over again. It's taken breaking through the walls that were built around me, the ones they thought would keep me contained forever. Every day, I fought against the whispers that told me I wasn't enough. Every setback, every rejection, every harsh word, they tried to bury me with them. But with each challenge, I found strength I never knew I had. I found resilience in the most unexpected places. I realized that I wasn't just surviving, I was learning, I was growing, I was becoming someone they could no longer ignore. And now, I stand here, ready to show them who I really am. I am not the person they tried to break. I am not the one they thought they could control. I am not the person they dismissed as weak or insignificant, number. I am someone with fire in my heart and vision in my soul. I am someone who has fought for every inch of progress, for every chance to prove that I deserve a place at the table. And now, I am taking my seat. It's time for the world to see what I am capable of. It's time for the people who doubted me to witness the strength, the talent, and the potential they never saw. They thought they could keep me down, but they didn't realize that every word they spoke, every attempt to discourage me, only fueled the fire within me. For every moment they tried to break me, I grew stronger. For every time they said I couldn't, I found a way to prove them wrong. And here I am, standing before you today, ready to show them what happens when you underestimate someone with determination, with passion, and with the courage to rise. This is not just my time. It is the time for all of us who have been pushed aside, who have been told we are not enough, who have been held back by the narrow definitions others have placed upon us. This is the moment when we reclaim our power. This is the moment when we stop letting others write our stories. We have the pen in our hands now, and it's time to start writing. I know what it feels like to be underestimated. I know what it feels like to be dismissed and ignored. I know what it feels like to have people look down on you and tell you that your dreams are too big, too impossible, too unrealistic. But I also know what it feels like to prove them wrong. I know what it feels like to defy the odds, to rise above the doubts, to break free from the chains that once held me back. And I know that I am not alone in this journey. There are countless others out there who have faced the same struggles, the same obstacles, the same challenges. But just like me, you have the power to break free. You have the power to rise above it all and show the world who you truly are. So, let this be a message to anyone who has ever tried to silence us, to anyone who has ever tried to hold us back, to anyone who has ever believed they could control our destinies. We are no longer afraid. We are no longer going to let your words and your actions define us. We are going to show you and the world exactly what we are made of. This is the time to take what is ours. This is the time to prove to ourselves that we are capable of more than we ever imagined. This is the time to rise up and show the world our worth, to let our voices be heard, to let our talents shine. No longer will we be silent. No longer will we be passive in the face of injustice. No longer will we accept the limitations others try to place upon us. This is our time, and we will make it count. So, let them watch. Let them see the strength in our eyes and the fire in our hearts. Let them see what happens when someone who was once overlooked finally decides to stand tall. Let them see what happens when we stop waiting for permission and start taking action. Let them see the power of someone who has finally found their voice, their purpose, and their confidence. Because this is my time, and it's time for all of us to rise. In conclusion, this is not just about me, or even just about those of us who have been held back by the world's expectations. It's about anyone who has ever been told they are not enough, who has ever felt the sting of doubt, who has ever wondered if they could truly make a difference. I stand here today not just for myself, but for all of us. This is the time when we stop letting others control our narrative. This is the time when we rise and show the world who we really are. And when we do, we will remind them, no one gets to define us but us. This is our time to shine. The world will watch us. They'll see us rise above. They'll see us break barriers. And they'll see us achieve what they thought was impossible. And in that moment, they'll know. They'll know that when you push someone to the brink, when you try to break them, when you underestimate them, you just might be creating the very force that will change everything. So let them think they have the upper hand. Let them believe their manipulations will keep us down, because we're ready now, ready to show them who we really are. And believe me, this time, we won't just make a difference. We'll make history.